Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. Most people don't know that I used to be something of a pool shark. I was also that good at ping pong. Now, I never bet any money or gambled or got in any leagues, but every day after class in undergrad, I would either be playing pool or I would be playing ping pong. And I played it so much that I got so good at it that I was unbeatable. Timothy Shepard, if you're watching this, you know it's true because I beat you a couple of times. Anyway, what I would do was I would come out of my classes and I would copy my notes again because you're writing, you're taking notes in your own hand, and it's all really fast. So while it was still fresh in my mind, I would rewrite my notes in a second notebook so that I could have them for studying. I would also have notes from the chapter readings in a completely different book. So I would do that, and I would play really a lot into the night. Well, night for me would be around 7. A lot of my friends would see me and say, "You're going to fail. You're going to flunk out. You're going to be going home next semester because all we see you doing is playing pool." They were so focused on me, I don't know how focused they were on their own work. Anyway, right before the exams, what I would do was I would take those two sets of notes, the ones from the book readings and the ones from the class lessons, and I would combine them in a third notebook, and then I would study those. And that's the only time I brought out a highlighter. I never used a highlighter in any of my textbooks. It was only in my own notes. But I would combine book notes and class notes, and that's what I would study. But my best study hours were early in the morning. I had a friend, Freddie Moore, and we would meet up early in the morning and we would study. He was majoring in engineering, I was studying sociology. At the end of our review, if we could teach each other what we were studying, then we knew that we knew what we knew. I remember the first semester of this, people would say, "So, what kind of grades did you get? I can't believe you're back because all we see you doing is playing pool." And I said, "What kind of grades you get?" They'd have a D here and a C there. I'm like, "I'm on the dean's list." And they were like, "How'd you make the dean's list?" They were judging me by what they saw me do. They had no idea of what I did when they were playing or they were sleeping. Those were my best hours. We all have hours, the time in our own psychological self, emotional self, and our physical self that work best for us. I happen to know mine. I've known mine very early on. What are the best hours, my peak hours for work? And I've worked within them. And the rest of the time, I do some kind of activity that allows my brain to just focus on that. And sometimes, even when I'm focusing on that, I'm still studying or reading or thinking. I don't like anybody messing with those hours because those are my peak hours. So when I get interruptions or calls or messages, I'm like, I'm working on that because I realize that while your hours are not my hours, I also realize that my hours are not yours. So I try not to disturb people at 3 in the morning because that's when I'm up. And I try to just keep that time for doing my peak work. Sometimes we can focus so much on what someone else is doing that we lose focus on what we are doing. I'm not that good at pool anymore because I don't practice it. I know I'm not great at ping pong. Little boy church whooped me. But it was simply the thing to do while I was doing the thing that I really needed to do. Find your best hours, especially as we're going back into these peak periods of COVID and you're sharing space with other people, and maybe your times are not their times, and you're trying to live your life on top of their life. They're trying to live on top of yours. Maybe your hours of operation, your best hours of operation are not the same. And ironically, that's what's best because you get to have your time to yourself and they get to have their time to themselves. I love you. We're going to get there.